The husband demanded a paternity test due to their daughter's appearance. After the test confirmed he was the father, the wife laughed and said, "I told you so," which angered him. The wife's reaction was prompted by her husband's lack of trust. I will say mine, but first listen to hers.
AITA for telling my husband, "I told you so," and laughing at me when we got the paternity test results. Advice needed. I, 27F, have been married my husband, 28M, for 2 years and gave birth to our daughter 5 weeks ago. I'll try to keep this short so I don't waste your time with any irrelevant details. What happened was that our daughter came out with blonde hair and pale blue eyes, while my husband and I have brown hair and brown eyes. My husband freaked out at this and refused to listen to my explanation that, sometimes, babies are born with lighter hair and eyes that get darker over time. He demanded a paternity test and threatened to divorce me if I didn't comply, so I did. After my daughter and I got home from the hospital, my husband went to stay at his parents' house for the first 3 weeks to get some space from me, while I recovered, and he told them what was happening. My MIL called and informed me that if the paternity test revealed that the child wasn't his, she would do anything within her power to make sure that I was taken to the cleaners during the divorce. I had my sister to lean on and help me take care of the baby during this. We got the results back yesterday, and my husband came home to view them with me. I was on the couch in the living room, so he sat next to me and we started to read the results. They showed that he was the father, and my husband had this shocked, kinda mortified look on his face with his eyes wide as he stared at it. I couldn't help but say, "I told you so," and started laughing at the way he looked. My husband snapped out of his shock, and got mad at me for laughing at him. We argued for a bit, which was mainly him yelling at me, before my sister came downstairs and my husband shut up. After that, my husband went back to his parents' house to clear his head, and 2-3 hours later, my MIL called to scold me about laughing in my husband's face, because apparently it was kicking him while he was down. She's also left a couple nasty texts essentially saying the same thing this morning. I don't think I'm an AH, but I'd like outsider perspective on this. Edit, I didn't realize I put me instead of him. Sorry, I have a headache. Edit, since someone asked in the comments, but I can't find it anymore, I have zero history of cheating.
Hey there, read it here. First off, let's take a deep breath. These things can get pretty intense, huh? Your husband's reaction might have seemed a bit over the top, but hey, becoming a parent can stir up all sorts of emotions. It sounds like he was really freaked out about the whole blonde hair, blue eyes thing, and his reaction was probably more about fear than anything else. Now, about your response. Well, we've all had those moments where we blurt out something without really thinking it through. Saying, "I told you so," and laughing might have felt good in the moment, but let's be real, it probably didn't help the situation. Your husband was already feeling pretty low, and that might have just added salt to the wound. Here's what you can do: when things cool down a bit, have a heart-to-heart with your husband. Let him know how his reaction made you feel, and try to understand where he's coming from too. It's all about empathy, you know. And hey, if you feel like you owe him an apology, there's no harm in saying sorry, but I actually hope that he gives you an apology and really shows that he can be a good father and husband. Oh, and those in-laws. Yeah, family drama can be a real headache. It might be worth setting some boundaries with them, especially if they're making things more complicated. If things are still feeling tense between you two, maybe think about counseling. Having a neutral third party can work wonders for sorting out this kind of stuff. Above all, remember that you're in this together. Trust, communication, all that good stuff, it's the glue that holds relationships together. Take it one step at a time, and don't forget to cut yourself some slack. Parenthood is one wild ride, but you've got each other's backs. You'll get through this. Everyone has their own opinion, even though I don't like most of them, but let's listen to some of Reddit's thoughts. Crystal Queen 3000. NTA. FK that guy. Not only doesn't he have a basic grasp of genetics, he threw a tantrum and left you immediately after having the baby to struggle alone for almost a month. He's lucky all you did was laugh in his face. Okay, explanation, 1223. So, he was down by finding out that he was mistaken and you didn't actually get pregnant with someone else's child. Tough luck, fella. He owes you a massive apology. Or 3. Sorry about your husband and in-laws. Fyperia. Even if that weren't true, it's like the man never heard of recessive genes before. Sure, it's statistically unlikely if the last couple generations of a family had absolutely no blonde/blue kids, but it's far from impossible. OP, I hope, given this man left you alone to take care of your newborn for several weeks, and then left again after he was proven wrong, and his response is anything other than groveling at your feet and begging for forgiveness, that you're finding a great divorce lawyer and kicking him to the curb. I know typical Reddit, divorce immediately, but like. This is an egregious level of permanent relationship damage. Danamo219. He doesn't want the baby. He was hoping to get out of this entirely by finding he wasn't the parent, and now he's pissed off that his little plot didn't work. You see how he found the news out and still fucked off to his mommy's house. That's still his baby home alone with its mother, and he's not there because he doesn't want to be. Simple as that. Scorp 128. OP should tell him to stay at mommy's and initiate court proceedings for a divorce herself. His behavior and that of his family is abhorrent. There is no trust in this marriage. Even when confronted with the actual scientific facts, he still doubles down and is crappy to OP. And his flying monkeys, oops, I mean, family. EFF that noise. OP needs a lawyer and to take hubby to the cleaners in the divorce. And to not let him back into the home. Honey, where is my yarn? Based off of how his mom is acting, he is doing her a favor by leaving. You can't raise a child if you're still attached to your umbilical cord. God knows her MIL would strive to be an obstacle for everything. You'll _carry _1331. That's called Darvo, defend, attack, reverse victim/offender, and is extremely manipulative. What a POS human OP has for a husband, and now that baby has for a father. I hope she takes him to the cleaners. Edit, got the D wrong, it's deny, not defend. Still, what happened though, for those upset about the use of the term Darvo, denying that he was in the wrong to abandon his wife and newborn because he forgot recessive genes exist, or didn't know the hair/eye color of a baby can change after birth, defending his actions and making his wife the bad guy in his narrative. The second icon of fire. Yeah, this would honestly change the context of my relationship forever. I'm not saying I wouldn't be able to move past it, but it would cause permanent damage that I don't know if it would ever fully heal. It would be one thing if I had exhibited behavior that was suspicious, but if I had been nothing but a loving partner and to have them rabidly accuse me of cheating and not give me any benefit of the doubt. That's a wound that's never going to fully heal, because it shows that at a primal level they don't trust me. And bam Shazam. For real. I'd group message dear MIL and husband and say that. Your son abandoned me for 3 weeks postpartum, leaving me alone to care for, edit, our newborn while still healing because apparently none of you ever learned how biology works. And now that it's been proven how very wrong you both were both in your assumptions and your treatment of me, you have the audacity to get upset with me, for laughing. That's the real joke. The appropriate response at the bare, and I mean bare minimum, would be a groveling apology, and instead you are both doubling down. Enjoy not being involved in my daughter's life. Keep your son. We will see you who's going to the cleaners now. Pretend _caret 5708. Love this. I don't normally jump to the leave him and divorce him tangent, but in this case, it's the first thing I thought. OP needs to get a lawyer and file ASAP, then pack all his stuff and put it in the yard. Call his mom and tell her that she can have her son back permanently. Also, OP don't delete any of their messages. Those will help you in court to take him to the cleaners. Ezerbat 5864. I would never let her around that child after that. I don't think I could ever forgive my husband for that. I feel like OP is too relaxed about this. Like, how do you even ask if YTA when he has the audacity to not even apologize, but doubles down and yells at her? I would tell everyone I know what he did. There's not coming back from that. I_nobes_what_nobes. Because he's most likely been doing stuff like this their entire relationship. A lot of people don't understand that severe abuse isn't just physical, it's a mental and emotional thing that doesn't start out as screaming and yelling and putting you down. It's a little things here and there, little comments, little sayings that get into your head like earworms, and then you think about them over and over and over again. You become the bad guy in your head, because of what they've been saying to you for so long. That's why she came here to ask if she was the asshole. Because he's been treating her like she is their entire relationship. It's why she's used to him running off to mommy's house, it's why she didn't immediately text back something just nasty to the mother-in-law. It's why he felt comfortable yelling at her instead of apologizing. TRVLLVR. I'd certainly be questioning staying in this marriage. He accuses OP of infidelity and insists on a paternity test while making threats of divorce. Then he leaves for 3 weeks and ignores/abandons his own child during this time while letting his mother berate OP. He learns the truth and realizes he is in fact an idiot, then tries to blame OP again for his own behavior. Then rather than take responsibility and apologize, he runs again to mommy to berate OP again. This will be a constant throughout the marriage. I personally wouldn't want to deal with the BS of him and his mom. He should feel like a real POS and be doing everything in his ability to make up for his shitty behavior. Instead he blames OP again. He's pathetic.